he does too. I mean, he's given little clues. But
Yeah.
here's my thing: if I'm the Lakers, though, there's no you can't do it for two firsts. You just can't. Like because Buddy Hield and Miles Turner would be fine, but they're not going to solve all your problems, right? Like they're not like we have a lot of holes. Miles Turner doesn't really solve one of those holes outside of like 80 playing at the four now, but he's not a great rebounder for his career. He's injury prone. He wants $30 million. Buddy Hield is great and can shoot the ball, but he's a defensive liability, and we need more than just one sharpshooter. So if they cost two first still, then no, it's not worth it. In the offseason, it made sense, right? Because
Yeah.
no one knew that Russell Westbrook would be this Russell Westbrook. So at the time for the Lakers, they just wanted to get rid of Russell Westbrook. And they were willing to do that trade. And then Jeanie Buss ended up saying, no, let's see what Russ can do and let's see what we got, which in hindsight, I think was the right choice. And so with that, it's like now Russ is playing so good, he's no longer a negative value for the Lakers. So now there's no incentive for the Lakers to give up both firsts in that deal. You're going to lose Miles Turner for nothing. Yes, maybe some other teams will give you a first round pick, but you're going to have to take on long-term salary. That doesn't make any sense for you. Like what teams have 20 million in expiring cap? Nobody. And you move off of Buddy Hield in the process, which means now Mathurin can now come in and be your starting shooting guard like you should be. And you can kind of start this movement with the youth and all that stuff and try to go build this team that you're putting together. Right. And then for the Lakers, you get at that point, you get Buddy Hield and Miles Turner. So if you could do that for one first, then that's perfect. Just Russ, one first. And if you have to give up a second or whatever, a pick swap or something, just not both unprotected first. So if you could do that, now you get Miles Turner, now you get Buddy Hield, and now you have that other first. You still have Patrick Beverley, Kendrick Nunn, and Lonnie Walker. Well, now you could package those, that unprotected first and whatever else, and maybe you could go get Alec Burke and Bojan Bogdanovic. Now, if you could get Alec Burke, Buddy Hield, Bojan, and Miles Turner, which isn't impossible if Indiana would lower their price to one first. So if they lower their price to one first, you could get all four. Now you're probably the best team in the league at that point if everyone's healthy, right? Because now you got three dead-eye shooters, and Bojan, Buddy, and Alec Burke. You got size now and Burke and Bojan. Like, it just – that makes more sense. I think if you're the Lakers, there's no way you're giving up both first for Buddy Hield and Miles Turner. And if you trade for Buddy Hield and Miles Turner, you need to do another move anyway because it's not going to be enough. So if you can give up one first, get Buddy Hield and Miles Turner, and then maybe go do another move, or even if it's not Bojan and Alec Burke, let's say it's the Spurs trade or something, right? And teams might be more willing also because the Lakers only would have one first at that point. So, teams aren't going to ask for the farm because the Lakers no longer have that farm. So you might be able to get more reasonable trades.
Yeah.
But what are your thoughts?
And not to mention too, like right now, since especially with the way that their season's going, like you mentioned two first, can you really still ask for two first? I don't really think you can, just because the way your season's going. Buddy Hield's still playing decent, but I don't really you can't take his performance, give us two first. You know what I mean? It's just because right now, if you're the Pacers, you need to just clear shit. You got to do something, right? So you're trying to offload, get Russell, do what you need to do. So I don't really think you can't really we could call their bluff at this point. You know what I mean? I don't really think they need to set it up there and ask for two first. Now from one first, make the trade. I think so. Make the trade at this point. You know what I mean? My only issue with the trade now is that I don't this late in the season. If we were gonna do it, I kind of have preferred it to be earlier in the season. You know what I mean? It's a weird point in the season. And I have a weird issue with it's funny because Jeanie Buss claimed she didn't want to make the trade because she was kind of focusing on long term versus short term. But I think if you would have made the Buddy Hield and Miles Turner trade, it would have been kind of both either way. So I don't really understand what her mind was on that. but yeah, we need to make 2 trades, possibly even 3. But I don't know. Maybe we just start with the Pacers trade, see where it goes. I
My,
just
my
it's been lingering for so long. I want to try it out. As much as I don't want to get rid of Russell Westbrook, I don't, but I want to see what it looks like.
yeah, I
Like,
mean, it would also be a long term move, which is why I kind of want the Lakers to make some sort of deals, because like $30 million in cap space is nothing. You're going to sign, like, let's say, and in the offseason, what? You're going to go sign Miles Turner? So you're going to end up having to overpay him anyway. The only difference is you don't have his bird rights. So now you basically sign Miles Turner. There's all your cap space. Where now if you could trade for Buddy Hield and Miles Turner, unless you really do plan on keeping Russ long term, but how much money is Russ going to want? Is he going to be willing to come off the bench? Like, does Russ even want to be with the Lakers after all that has happened, right? Like, I'm sure, he's happy. He's, embraced his role and everything like that. But if any team offers him a starting role, which I do think there are teams that would do that, I think he's gone. I think he's on the first flight out of LA.
we're gonna see as soon as the season ends. We're gonna see.
Yeah.
I promise. As soon as the season ends, we're gonna see exactly where his mind's at. Like, that's Russ for you. Like, he's gonna start making moves.
I don't like. That doesn't mean trade Russ just to trade Russ, right? I mean, you don't just trade Russ, just trade Russ. Luol Deng, Timothy Mozgov is a great example of like why you don't just get players just to get players and say we got somebody. But if a deal is there that makes sense for now and the future, then fine. Because it's like we've talked about before. Like, let's say you did do the Pacers and you did let's say the Hornets deal or or some variation of the Hornets deal, or you did the Detroit deal or whatever, right? Like, yes, there is concerns about chemistry. How will it fit? How will it work? If it works right away, great. Then it's good, and now you're off to races and you have a real chance of winning a championship. If it doesn't work, well, at least you have those pieces now for the next several seasons, and now you have a full off season, a full training camp, and a full preseason to get everybody on the same page, getting everybody together,